Hi cozy friends! So it's officially been like 3.5 months of my no scrolling journey. And have I survived? Yes. Am I thriving? Yes! Things have been so much better from the start of the journey. I truly cannot recommend this journey enough for everybody if you have the capacity to go through kind of the rough period. But a lot of you have asked, what do I do in all of the free time I have that I'm not spending scrolling? Kind of just all of the other hobbies I used to always do anyways, but I've been focusing on a lot more off-screen, non-digital, analog hobbies. I'm gonna take you along for a couple of those hobbies this week. And the first stop is the park. I've been loving the park recently. I've been loving bringing both analog and digital hobbies to the park. I have some like gaming park time, and then I'll have some reading at the park time, and it's just like, it just feels so good. It feels so nostalgic to just be back at a park. I truly don't think I've hung out at a park since childhood this often. So let's go. Okay, today we find ourselves at the plant nursery, which Maya and I are so excited for because we love a nursery. But I told you guys in the last vlog, we had to clear this whole honeysuckle bush shrub thing from this area. It was infested in rat's nests, which is kind of par for the course since we live near a huge nature preserve, but also the huge tall shrubbery just attracts nests like that. So we're going for more low profile California native plants that are going to be more sustainable in terms of water usage and attract butterflies and bees and hummingbirds. So we were really excited to find some local nurseries around us that specialize in plants like that, because we couldn't really find plants like that just at the chain nursery. So off we go to shop, and no, I didn't impose an $80 budget this time. We got all of those plants for $155, which I don't know if that sounds good to you, but it sounds good to us because we've been getting our plants from like a chain nursery. But when we found this kind of in the middle of nowhere nursery, they had such good prices and so many cool native plants. So that was so fun, but we're gonna go to another local nursery.
These are free. These were made by the previous plant workshop. Where's your card?
Oh, cool. Right back there.
And these are plumerias, the Hawaiian flower. You can make these if you want to.
Wow.
We got some snake plants right here. We're just dipping in water so they can stay a bit hydrated.
Oh, that's so cool. Here's our haul. There are so many. We got this one for half off because it was a little grimy over here. Yay! All right, y'all, now is the time to stage them. We're gonna put them all along here to see where we want them to be. We're gonna try and mix and match so that we've got some orangish ones and we've got some like blue and purple. So we're gonna mix them up so that it's not all one color in one area. That'll be fun. Hey y'all, before we get into even more of our activities, I want to talk to you about some of my favorite pieces in my home, which is also the perfect time to introduce our cozy sponsor, Quince. Thank you, Quince. You help me keep these videos going. Y'all know I rave about my Quince pieces because they last so long in my closet and in my home. And lately my favorite has just simply been the European linen sheets. They just bring me so much joy to wake up to every day, and they just look so effortlessly chic. And our brown throw blanket is also from Quince. But apart from those things, Quince has everything from elevated clothing your whole family's gonna love to cookware that makes your meals feel a little special. And then, like I said, bedding that just changes how you sleep. Also, Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middleman entirely. So you're paying for the product alone and not some crazy markup. And everything is priced like 50 to 80% less than similar brands, with over 3,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. So it's easy to see why people keep coming back like I do. Quince favorites do sell out though. Like, I'll have something on my wish list and I come back to it and it's like, dang it. So if you've been thinking about refreshing your wardrobe, upgrading your home, or elevating your kitchen, now is a good time to do it. The things I keep returning to are the 100% cotton and the 100% linen items. Just found consistently that Quince has the best prices on those things and also such a consistent quality. So if you want to upgrade your everyday, head to quince.com/cozyk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Quince is now available in Canada too. So that's QUINCE.com/cozyk for free shipping and 365-day returns. Thank you, Quince. Sheila, it's okay. Yeah. I like that he goes to different windows.
Let me try this one.
How about this one? Oh, he's going back. He's getting up high. Hey.
Oh, smart.
Here's our spread. I mean, it's just gonna be beautiful.
It's already just gorgeous.
Sheila, are you stuck? He's genuinely stuck. Yay! Today we're at the office because, you know, in a usual week there are lots of fun hobbies but also some work. And you guys are gonna have to pardon my musings because I just want to talk about how much more attention and focus I have after these like 3.5 months of no scrolling. Like, I'm able to get so much more done, so much more efficiently, and that frees up so much more time in my day to spend on the things that I want to do because I am actually just getting things done instead of dragging it out for hours because I'm scrolling in between tasks and I like am using that to procrastinate. And if you're like, girl, I don't care about being efficient at my corporate job, I get it, I've been there, but imagine finishing all the things you need to do and then having actual intentional time to like finish your book or play a cozy game instead of just scrolling idly in between your tasks and just consuming stuff you don't even care about. So just another little argument in favor of going on a no scroll journey, but you know, who am I? What works for you, what works for you. Listen to your heart. Hey y'all, I had kind of a little bit stressful work day, and so I'm just going to sit on my nook. I think I might journal a little, do some sketching, but I'm gonna see where my mind takes me because I just really need to decompress. So it's nook time, let's go. Gonna put on a little ambiance, some rain sounds. Quarter teaspoon.
I'm gonna do 2 in this one.
Oh.
Let me add the protein too. Oh.
Okay. Okay. I'm adding ube flavoring to mine. What flavoring are you doing in yours?
I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna redo our cake batter one with more.
More cake batter. Okay, this is the protein I'm using. Did I have to do this? How many milliliters did we do?
180 milliliters.
180 milliliters.
Now I'm gonna do cake batter. I think I used this measuring thing last time. There we go.
Oh.
All right.
Smells good.
All right. This thing better taste like cake.
Okay, it says it really doesn't give any help, does it?
Just hand measure now. Eyeballed it.
Oh yeah, I eyeballed it.
Oh, and hang on, last step. A little bit of salt. Yep, I usually just boop boop. Eyeball it. How bad?
This is our sweet corn experiment. Is it good?
The corn's there.
Yeah, I feel like I could use a tiny bit more, but it's really good. Ooh.
Go ahead and
Corn
sip that
ice
up.
cream. Oh, that's so purple. Oh, God, so over.
A little more milk.
Yeah. They're dating. Ready for the freezer. Here's the bowl of corn ice cream. Corn protein ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay guys, update on the ube matcha. I definitely added a bit too much of the ube stuff. Definitely only needs like a few drops, but it's so delicious. Really, really good. Hey y'all, I thought that we could have a little catch-up time while I do some watercoloring. One of my favorite analog hobbies, to be honest. Like many of my hobbies, I do not approach painting and watercolor with the intent of trying to get better and improve and whatever. But I will say over time, things just kind of intuitively come to you and you're like, oh, this is how this works when I put more water on it here, when I put less water here, when I put water here first. It's just experimentation and learning. So you almost just inevitably get better over time. It's always really like interesting and fun to see because you look back and you're like, wow, I kind of just used to like slap the paint on the page and now there's like a little bit more intention to it. It's always been equally fun to me because again, the goal, it's just been to have fun and to get lost in the art. And I'll always appreciate that. I'll always appreciate watercolor for that because I always say this, but it's just such a forgiving medium because change and meld and mend as you go. And it also just looks good no matter what. I kind of talk about this in my book, but like if a line isn't perfect, if something's a little more splotchy than you intended, like that is just inherent in the style of watercolor and I just love that about it. I think that's just what makes it so fun for me. And so if you're like, I don't know, like I kind of want to do a creative art hobby, but it all sounds intimidating, I promise you, watercolor is the way to go. I also really like oil pastel. I think oil pastel is a good beginner and I still consider myself a beginner because I don't know shit. Okay. But we're all beginners, aren't we? From womb to tomb. We're always learning something. No, but I really like oil pastel too for the same reason because it's kind of just like a messy art form and smudging here and smudging there. And so it just feels less scary. I feel like 2026 in terms of themes, what do I want to paint actually right now? I'm gonna do olives. In terms of themes, like if I were to theme this year, I would say it's been a return to my favorites. So gaming, also reading. I would say like 2024, 2025 was all about like branching out and trying new things. And half of that was just me being in that mood and the other half was research for my book and stuff. And so it was just this like constant blend of I want to try everything and I want to try new things and I'm in new spaces. And so new. This year, 2026 has just been like, okay, I've dabbled in everything. What at the end of the day feels good and feels familiar and feels comforting, and not even familiar in the sense of like I'm not pushing myself or trying something new, but just familiar and just like something like watercolor where it's like just it feels like that friend that you can come back to and like you're still learning things about, but like it always feels the same when you come back to them no matter how long it's been. Those are the hobbies that I've been nurturing this year. So those have been my themes for this year. Returning to the old, nurturing what I love. Where are you in your hobby journeys? Are you just starting? Are you in a like, I'm trying everything and seeing what sticks, seeing what I like, settling into things that you've realized you like? Where are you in your journey? I want to hear. Sometimes I don't feel like looking up a reference, and so I just simply take a stab at what I think the branches look like on something. Here we are. Here we are. These kind of look like pears also. Hold on, I'll give you a progress update. Here's my olives/pears. I don't know what they are. Yesterday, I was gonna vlog it, but I was so locked in. But yesterday I went to a panel. I was on a panel with Boutique Book Society. It's the same girls, Lauren and Tina. I love them. They put on the book retreats, but now they also host a bunch of bookish events and like book industry events too. So this was a book industry event. I was on the panel, which was fun. It was just about like marketing and social media. I learned a lot from the other panelists. I actually love a panel. I used to hate public speaking when I was younger, but now the switch flipped at some point and I just love it. I think it's like confidence in yourself and like knowing that you have something valuable to share. But speaking of books, the last update I have is just what I've been reading. You guys have been giving such great recs, both of like books and other creators who recommend good books too. And so I found this book through another creator that you guys recommended, which is The Door by Magda Szabo. I had literally never heard of it. And now my library wish list is just like endless from the various creators that you guys have recommended. It was in this little New York Review of Books duo pack. I was like, okay, might as well get another one for slightly more for the book that I want to get, and genuinely had like no expectations for it. Blazed through it in 2 days. It was so good. It was so good. It's one of those books I know that I'll think about for years and years and years to come. There's this writer lady and then her housekeeper, like the woman that takes care of their house and like sometimes cooks for them and stuff. And it just follows their relationship over the years. This is the kind of character study I want to see in every book. And it truly is just that. Like, it is a character study. It is just looking at the minutia of their relationship and their communication and just the very little things from start to end. So bizarre. It's like fantastical in some ways, but then there's the fact that like you're seeing through the main character's eyes, and so you're seeing what she's seeing in her. I just think it's so beautifully done. It's just so beautifully done. And I remember running to the Goodreads after I finished it. I don't usually do this with books, but I was looking at the reviews because I was like, oh my God. I mean, everybody has to feel the same way about this book as I do, right? And a lot of people did, but I think it's kind of like a love or hate book, I guess. Some people's critique was either that it was not believable, and then essentially the characters weren't good people. I don't know. I can never really get behind a critique of a book when the critique is solely like the characters weren't good people. And it's like, well, yes, that's kind of the point of the book. They don't have to be good people. Like, that can be the point of the book, that they're not good people. I don't know. Yeah, like, characters don't have to be redeemable. I think what makes a character and a story interesting is when a character is irredeemable, but you're still invested in their story, or you learn something from them, or you know, I don't know. The part of it not being believable, I think, is kind of the point. Like, I think it is supposed to be a little bit fantastical and a little bit surreal. Again, you are seeing it through one character's eyes, and so that's always going to be a little bit unreliable and a little bit like looking back on a situation in a certain way versus having absolute clarity. There is a dog in this book, and it is so interesting how the author uses the dogs as foils for different characters at different points. It's just so interesting. I just think it's so brilliantly written. I think in a lot of books, like, you are getting that facsimile feeling. Like, you're getting the feeling where you're like, this is a replication of reality from someone's mind. And this book truly feels like you are reading somebody's diary. Like, it feels real. It feels like an accurate representation of humanity and like a true human experience. There's very few books that I feel like have that feeling for me. One of those was Call Me By Your Name, which with all of its issues does have that same feeling. The Goldfinch was another one where I was like, oh my God, that's just like, this is humanity. This is real. So that's my thoughts on that book. I finished North and South, a product of its time, a product of like class and all of that, but I think that makes it all the more interesting. The romance was cute. It didn't give me like all of the yearning, but you guys recommended I think it was the BBC miniseries or just the miniseries of North and South, and I cannot wait to watch that. I'm so excited to watch that, so yay. In the middle of reading both Middlemarch and Chrysalids, and Chrysalids is that other New York Review of Books book, and it is like a sci-fi. I usually don't read an intro or care about an intro, but for these ones, the New York Review of Books ones, I think they're really helpful in like contextualizing what the author was writing about and like why they were writing about it at that time and what influenced them to write about what they were writing about in that time. This one is just so fascinating because it talks about like post-war England. There was this like almost this nostalgia for wartime, because during wartime there was this like hope for the future and hope of like prospering after the war, but then after the war is like the reality. So they're living in this like post-war reality where everything is terrible basically, and they're rebuilding and restructuring. There's not a lot of opportunity, there's not a lot of industry left. So there's this nostalgia for wartime, which then influenced a ton of literature that was like war focused, and a lot of that being sci-fi, and there being like these total universe v universe, planet v planet sci-fi books. I thought that was so interesting to contextualize that. And then Middlemarch is really interesting too. I was going to start with Monte Cristo, but I don't know. I think I just wasn't feeling like an adventure yet. I wasn't feeling an adventure. But 100% recommend The Door. See if your library has it. But otherwise, there's like a lot of resale sites that have it. I kind of left my olives. I was going to do a little like autumnal wreath around it, and then I yapped too much. So that's that. I will see you guys next week. I love you. Stay cozy. Bye.